Hi everyone, so I'm going to be trying Huda Beauty's Wild mini palettes. So I have Jaguar, Chameleon, and Python. So I'm going to start with Python. Let's just do some swatches. Ooh. Find the other previous swatch. Definitely like a nice duochrome. And like they've gotten better on their formula, but I feel like it's a little bit more opaque. Still kind of on the sheer side, but definitely fun colors. And they did do like a scale imprint where it's always like, oh no, I have to swatch through that. I really do love their mattes. The shimmer, kind of that middle scaly shade, leaves a little to be desired. But nice colors. Definitely like that screams like Python to me. So I definitely think I'll be popping that into the middle of my eye. So I want that to be my focus. So I'm going to try and be subtle with the others. So just kind of going into this brown shade, tapping off and just applying onto my crease. So I even think with one shade, you can kind of build it up in one area and then just kind of be lighter with the rest. So it almost is giving you kind of like two shades, right? So definitely darker for my outer corner of my crease, and then it is lighter as it goes in. I do think I'm just going to use my finger for this gold shade. Applying it all over my lid. It is kind of this like goldy green. Really nice and shiny. But it is going to be one that if you do use it with a brush, do your eyes first. Because if it gets elsewhere, it is just going to be glittery. Then I do think with the smudger brush, I am just going to go in to this brown shade and kind of apply it along my lash line. But my upper lash line, kind of applying the matte over the glitter shade. You do have to kind of build it up, the color. but they do blend nicely. And then just with a fluffy brush, going in to that inside color, or putting that color on my inner corner. I do think I'm just going to take it and kind of apply it to my lower lash line. Just kind of keeping it on the outer section. I'd almost like this color like a little bit more like creamier. I think that's what I would really like, is like more like a powdered cream product, really to like punch up that color. But I think if you really want to punch up that color, to have like a white eyeliner and just kind of put that down as your base is always going to help kind of like that neon or like that pop of color. I definitely feel like the Python colors, which is kind of like if you want to be like snake Halloween, you can definitely do a nice kind of look with this. But I do like how they kind of come up with like their themes. Just kind of blending out. My one eye is watering. So I do like it. I do think some like different green colors, and I do like the concept. Definitely sometimes when like you see it, like I wouldn't be like, oh, how's that color? But like swatching and going in is really nice. So I still think I want my like shimmery shades to be a little bit more opaque than sheer, but they're not as sheer as some of their past mini palettes. So overall, liking my Python. So looking at my Chameleon palette, a little bit more of those reddish. We have some of that purple. So let's go in and swatch. Again, it has kind of that zebra. And as soon as like you kind of go in, kind of that first row, like this color I'm a little disappointed in. It didn't swatch the nicest. Like it seems a little patchy. Makes me a little bit nervous. Nice second row. Definitely some like fall leafy shades. And then like that purple just seems a little bit like interesting choice. Like I can see how it works with some colors, but I don't know. Like it does not scream Chameleon to me. But I don't know what wild animal. It kind of like maybe like lioness, right? Because the purple would be that like royal kind of color. I think would have been a better name for it. People are gonna be like, what? Yes, I'm judging its name. So again, I think I'm gonna go into this pinky shade with a blending brush. I think you do just have to like tap the product in. You don't really have to swirl. And just bring this across my lid. By my lid, I mean crease. A nice kind of like pinky orangey transition color. I'm going to keep the same brush and go into this shade. Forgetting that I didn't really like swatching it, but hopefully it is better blended. I mean, not horrible. I feel like it just like lacks pigment. Like it's not my expectation of the color. And then I do think I'm going to go in with this zebra print and apply it on my lid. Right, it works nice with that. I definitely want more out of this color. I do think this color is just really pretty. So I don't think it's like necessarily translating through. But it's definitely a beautiful color. I don't know if I just kind of got a defective palette. Like, I think this color is really pretty, but I do just find it a little bit harder to work with than some of like what I normally find with them. I am, with a smudging brush, just going to go into this coppery shade and apply it to my lower lash line. They're nice, like, glittery shades. So nice for, like, the holiday time. Sorry, just have a little thing in my eye. I probably did not do that nice on camera. I'm just kind of smudging it. I do wish it kind of had like a lighter color. I don't think like kind of dabbing that into the inner is really what I'm going for. And I'm really just trying to think of an animal. These colors, like the python one worked so nicely of like, I can see it's a python. Chameleon, like I really do think more of that green and like different colors. Going in with a liner brush, I just think I want to go into that chocolatey kind of brown and just line it up a little more. If I want it sharper, I would just use like a setting powder to almost make it more of a liner. But I just want like a soft line, almost seeming like a shadow. Popping on some mascara. Like this really does give me more like sunset vibes. But like you can still make a decent look. It's just not the same quality that I kind of expect from Huda Beauty. Continuing on with my last wild Huda Beauty palette is Jaguar. So I hate when like you swatch and then it loses its coolness, but I was definitely like really in love with this color, but to that shimmer one. So kind of going through those swatches, like how pretty of that is a color. So I definitely think I'm going to try and use those two colors, but definitely a nice kind of cool tone palette. So going in with a blending brush, I'm going to go into this mauve shade here, tap off and just put on my crease. Will say like that purple shade there, I was a little bit disappointed in. It's more of like an overlay color than that kind of purple. Like I did have to kind of build it up a little. And going into that same color, I'm just going to pinch my brush and just smoke it on my lower lash line. So just keeping it kind of light and easy. And definitely when doing your makeup, the more you blend out, the better. So give yourself time. And just like blend. Like even just that as one color, pop on some mascara, I'd be happy with. I'm someone who's like, I don't mind the sickly eye look. And then I am just gonna touch into the shade. I wish it was just a little bit more plummy than brown. I'm just gonna kind of dab. Keep it really the outer corner building out. I do think the mattes in this palette are nice to work with. And not bad for fallout. Going in for an eyeshadow brush, I am going to go into the sparkly shade. I will say, like, you probably want to put down a concealer. Just to really punch up that color. I do think so, like a setting spray is going to be needed. So it's just going to kind of like sheer out the glitter when using a brush. I want that color a little bit more tightly packed, so I am going to use my finger if we can kind of see that difference. But it's just such a like nice sparkly shade. And it, let's see, just gonna use the back of the brush, see how this one goes on. This one seems a little bit more like creamier. I'm just putting it onto my outer corner. Yeah, so I do see, like, if you want to be a cheetah, not a cheetah, but kind of like an like a cat, yeah, well, for Halloween, without making it kind of like glam makeup but animal inspired. I do kind of see like the cat-like colors, a little bit more dark and smoky. I am just going to take some of this color to my lower lash line. Sorry if we can hear all the racket going on upstairs. Just going into this lighter color. Putting it a little bit in here. It's maybe like if I was paler, I wouldn't necessarily do that. Just trying to add a little bit of highlight, but it also helped, like when using my finger, I got a little bit of the glitter, so it does help kind of like remove it a little. I'm just going into that light shade, kind of highlighting that brown bone and inner corner just to make it a little bit more light so it's not so dark. And I think if it was nighttime, I would just punch in a little bit more of that black shadow to make that outer corner a little bit deeper. And then I'm just going to put on some mascara. So looking at the colors, so definitely like the look. So looking at all three palettes, I do think I like this one the most. Then definitely my Python, really because of that like green, like a nice kind of different color in the palette. It's always kind of nice. Ba-bam. Like this one, I still like the look that I got, but I just found it a little bit harder to work with and not kind of like the standard I'm used to with Huda Beauty, with like Python and Jaguar being so easy to use. I do think they're nice. I do kind of wish that they did do like like a package for 3 that's a little discounted, and then like your individual ones, so that way like you can get all 3 but it not be so much, because it's definitely like working out to be more than like their full-size palette. So as their prices go up, you're like, eek. But if you just like kind of one color, right, you can kind of pick what colors you're kind of looking for. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Bye.